Yes, we are live. We are live. We're going to jump right into this, and we're going to make this happen. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the LANCESCURV podcast. I guess a podcast is where you don't see my face, but you can easily see my face. But I don't feel like facing it out tonight. I'm the hermit, reclusive LANCESCURV tonight. But no matter what version of LANCESCURV I am, I'm going to be churning out the content morning, noon, and night, and I want to also say that I will talk about the stories that I want to talk about that I can see an angle in. I am not a reporter. I'm not one who comes to report news. We have enough people out here doing that. But when I want to see something that I want to have a little elevator talk about, I'm going to do so. So look at this. Oh, but let's not forget, tonight we have Positively Angela at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 1 a.m. Ghana time. So if you're in Ghana, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But I'll tell you one thing, it's well worth it. It's well worth it. Anyway, let's just jump right into the story. I want to greet everybody who's watching but hasn't said anything yet. Yes, Lady Prophetess Deborah Jones, welcome to the stream. Wow, I had to read that one there because like you had everything kind of together and whatnot. Thanks for being the first one on in. We have 27 people watching. I'm quite sure there's a lot more. I don't really have much more to the story to add. I'm going to read off an article by The Root, and I'm going to talk about it. And I'm just going to say basically, how are you, Reese? Anybody want to come on in and add their 2 cents to it? Feel free. I'll put the link out and just let me know when you want it out. But let me just read this. I don't see the chat room right now. And this is an article straight off of The Root, theroot.com. And it says, Brooklyn's best-dressed bishop arrested by feds. The Brooklynite pastor, whose flashy clothing, political relationships, and robbery inside his own church have kept him in the news this year, has a new reason for notoriety, a rap sheet with the feds. Federal prosecutors arrested Bishop Lamor Whitehead, 44 years old, charging him with committing fraud by bilking $90,000 from a member of his congregation under the guise that he would help her buy her first home in the cutthroat New York City market. That woman, Pauline Anderson, later sued Whitehead, arguing he didn't hold up to his end of the bargain, instead using her retirement savings to lay a down payment on a posh home in New Jersey for himself. White never ended up buying that home, but Anderson never got back any of her cash. In an exclusive interview with The Root conducted last Thursday in Manhattan, Whitehead denied that Anderson was ever a member of his church and said that he never made any promises to give her money back to her. In the interview, which was scheduled and conducted before the federal charges against him were filed, Whitehead discussed the myriad scandals that have surrounded him, ranging from his lawsuit against New York radio host Jones, who accused him on air of laundering drug money, to Anderson's lawsuit, to the infamous July robbery in which armed men stormed his church and made off with an estimated $1 million worth of jewelry. Wow. Because of his flashy wardrobe and charismatic behavior, he had been turned from victim to villain in the media, Whitehead said in the interview. Even with, or maybe because of the scandals, Whitehead has gone from a relatively obscure figure leading a second-floor church above a Brooklyn storefront to one of the more recognizable and polarizing figures in New York City. He's been associated with Mayor Eric Adams, the city's first black mayor since David Dinkins, and was involved in negotiating the surrender of a suspect in a brazen subway killing early this year. Very interesting. Let's talk about this. I mean, we can all trash people. Let me just greet everybody who came in. Lady Prophetess, I did when you first came in. Reese, Sister Oyala with your beautiful self. Wendell, Sharon, Linda, Naima, and let me just see. Whitehead is a liar and a scam. Oh, let's get to this right here. He's a liar and a scam. I don't feel sorry for him. I'm just going to pray for him. You know, yeah, you can do that. And my thing is, I ask this in all honesty. Patrick Gilbert, welcome, brother. Is that going to help him? Because he prays for us, but he spells it different. Prey. And I just feel, I can't say I know because I don't know him, but I can say I know in concept that men like this, they don't give a damn. They don't even acknowledge the words that they preach. Now, do I know him? He might be the most honest man on the planet. Who knows? But something's not right. And when you have these multiple run-ins with the media, with the things that you've done, let's just put it on the table. I'm not going to soft shoe it. Look at him. The clothes he's wearing. Am I hating on him? I don't want to watch like that. I don't need a ring like that. I don't need clothes like that. I got rid of all my clothes before I came out to Africa. Nice clothes, about 3 closetfuls of clothes. It's too hot, the clothes that I had, even though I was in Florida. I'm not into the whole thing. I'm into me. I'm worried more about my liver, my pancreas, my kidneys, and my lungs, and my brain. Not what goes on top of it. That's just not how I roll. So I'm not hating on the man. But if you are a man of God, that has almost in the black church become a joke to say that. You know, I let a few words go by that are spicy, depending on the topic of the show. I try to be a nice guy. I try to do the right thing. I've been known to sin a whole lot on different areas. There's certain things I just won't do, though. I'm not going to rip you off for your money. Ain't nobody coming up on this YouTube channel saying, Lance took money from me and he didn't give it back. No. There's certain things, and there's a long list of other things that I won't do. There are things in the past that I have done, and there might be a few things I might be tempted to do now and resist it successfully, hopefully. I'm human, but I would not put myself up in front of people and profess to be this or act or put myself in a position. I'm not taking nobody's money. If you donate to the channel, it's to upkeep the ever dwindling equipment that breaks and programs and things that need to be kept up. But I don't even ask for that. The links are below. I put the links there if you want to do it, but I'm not asking for that because I love what I'm doing. And this is my hobby. So if it's my hobby, no one's obligated to upkeep it, but I will benefit others with my hobby. But I'm not trying to put myself out there as some holy man. And see, it's not just him that's the problem. Oh, you know I'm going to give it to you. It's not just him that's the problem. Oh, yes, Byron, we know many false prophets, and most of them are. It really smears the people who are trying to do good. Pastors, the good ones, name them out. Bishops, name them out. If there are any good ones out there, name them out. Call them out. Say, hey, you one of the good ones, and you should speak out on clowns like this. But you can't do it. You know why you can't do it? Because in that hierarchy, you have the secret handshakes going on. You have the different hierarchies of people mixed up in different occultic activities. But they present it as church and God. But what God are you serving when you go up in these places? Look at this fool here. How many people are going home after his services hungry? How many people are going home on the bus and counting up bus fare, hoping they got enough? And if they don't, they hope they got a nice bus driver that'll let them slide. You know how many nights I've done that? I've gone up and down Bruton Boulevard in Orlando, Florida, where they have a whole slew of these churches like this. And there's a lot of people who came out. Grandmothers holding on to bread that's going to be moldy in 2 days because she was so happy that the church gave away some bread and it's helping me out so much. But you don't even have bus fare. And in 2 days, that bread is going to be moldy because the bakery gave it to the church as a tax write-off. Ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. Come on now. And some of us fall for it and support these guys. Yet and still, allegedly, He built this woman out of $90,000 and then turned around and said she was never a member. Nothing should even be said close to something looking terrible like that. From what I heard growing up, if a pastor is to go over some woman's house and lay hands on her, his wife better be there. Now the wife can't even be there because people will say, oh, they going up in there to do a threesome. It's crazy these days. The morale is gone. The integrity is gone. I remember there were some good pastors out there who really cared. I have to say it. I can't say I haven't known any at all. But it's not about the religion and spirituality. This guy is rotten. We all have a good sense and a judge of character. Anybody who is going to lose $1 million in jewelry in a robbery, I didn't keep up with the story, but I heard there were 2 arrests. $1 million? What kind of congregation is supporting this man? Pimping ain't easy. And black folks go for it all the time. Intelligent black folks. Not all of them are just like ignorant or just out of their mind. We have some very intelligent black people that attend these churches. And I said these churches, those who are under the leadership of a man like this, who may not even be as flamboyant, but it's a game. I also learned as a young boy about the mint game, the minister game. I knew a guy who stuck up a local store, a bodega, and went to prison for so many years. And when he came out, he was a jerry-curled minister. He wanted to come and knock the doors in the neighborhood and just thank everybody for welcoming him back. But now he's a pastor. Imagine that. It can happen. At least they had time to read. But why are these pimp preachers able to go in on the people in the congregation and they will? Let me tell you something. This guy might be arrested, but somehow, some way this week, when it's time for service, it's going to be packed. It's going to be packed with people who support him. It's the same game. It's just a different category. It's the easiest game in the black community. If you got the gift of gab, if you look halfway handsome and you're slick talking, you can talk your way into a whole lot of things. You can talk your way into a whole lot of holes too. Orifices of your choice and the bank accounts. And they give it up. You didn't rape nobody. You didn't stick nobody up, and they give it. It's the sweetest game in the black community. Pimping pastors. But when are we going to wake up from this? When are we going to wake up from it? Oh, yeah, Linda Petty, a Jerry Curl minister. And he had a whole flock of women. What is it about some of our sisters? And it's not just in the church. It's just in life. Is it the fact that you like bad boys? Now, I'm not saying this about all my sisters. I'm not saying about anybody in this chat room. Because you all got sense. I know you all. But what is it about some of us that in these churches, there's this sexual tension? I kind of beat up on him. We're going to see what's happening to him. I'm talking about the church overall and men like him. And I will come back and refer to him. Don't forget, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Positively Angela on live. I'll be there operating everything behind the scenes. But I said, let me come on and yap a little bit. Since I've just been uploading Rooftop and just recorded stuff and doing so many other things. But I said, I got to get on this. We're going to have some fun. And I'll do more like this on a whim. But the bottom line is that I got to have an angle. Like I said, I'm not a reporter. But God dog, this game is still going on. Remember him, those who have years under their belt? This is Reverend Ike Raincoater. Reverend Ike. But there's something different about Reverend Ike. Even though he was getting over and getting the money, he wasn't like threatening. He wasn't slimy. You know what it was. And you liked the guy. He was a likable guy. But he got that money from the congregation. And the radio program, people were sending in money like crazy. But what's vicious about this dude here, he took the woman's, what is it, retirement, pension, retirement money, $90,000. She didn't get it back. And he went and bought himself a brand new home in New Jersey. Ain't that something to get away when everything comes down, when the die is cast and people are looking for him? He's not going to stay in New York City. He better go further than that. And he's going to ride it. And from what I heard, not that I knock anybody, they did their time, but he did time several times. For what, I don't know. It's out there official. We have enough fact checkers here. I just threw this up on the web. I just want to talk about the concept of things. And why do we allow this to continue to happen right in our faces? And we admire that. And you know how I always say it, how you got the two old ladies sitting on the bus stop after the service, but they come from two different churches and they bragging about their pastors. Yeah, my pastor bought a ranch home and it's got a heliport way out in Long Island. Yeah, and he got hired help. And he bought through 3 new Lexuses. Well, Mabel, my pastor bought 5 supermarkets, and he built a mansion. He ain't buy it, and he got a private jet, and he got 5 Rolls Royces, 2 in Europe and 3 over here. And the other one get jealous. And both of y'all are broke. Both of y'all don't have no damn money. You gave it to him to keep up his lifestyle. Why are we wired that way? Why? But we won't even help our neighbor, but we'll give money to the pastor. We have a nephew or a son-in-law or somebody who needs it, and we won't give to them, but we'll give to the pastor and brag about it and feel as though the sacrifice of giving to the pastor is something that God's going to bless you with. That's the problem that I have. And they use these threatening scriptures that you robbing from God. Event sponsorship consultant, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. We definitely have to talk. And I haven't been looking over in the chat room a lot because, you know, when I zone out, if I do, I'll be talking to the chat. I'm not ignoring y'all, but I just got to get this off my chest and I'll come around to the chat. I got to zone out. But what is it about us? We are the ones that are sick. I'm not saying anybody here. You know how I talk, but we are the ones who are sick. And we deserve to be duped. We got so much sense to watch out for all the scams out here. I don't want nobody scamming me, honey. Did you hear about it on the news last night? It's Christmas time and they coming around with these scams. But you scammed all damn year long, every Sunday, if not the other days too. That offering plate comes around, baby. It used to be where it comes around one time. But if you late thinking you missed the offering plate, oh no, they smiling. Oh yeah, we about to put that plate out there. And what do you do when they pass it around 6 times? Do you split it up 6 ways and put 6 envelopes in with what you were going to give one time? Church is a business. If even T.D. Jakes said it, it's the business of Jesus. The business of Jesus? And then we talk about the blood of Jesus. No, the blood of you, because they're milking the blood out of you. Jesus ain't got nothing to do with it. But most of us are mentally sick because coming out of slavery, we came up in this thing and it's been twisted now from a thing that I feel had more power back then. And that's a sad statement. See, because our very life depended on it. Our massa didn't mess with us as much on Sunday. Let the little nigglings go to the church and shout and jump around. And yeah, we'll kick back a little bit. Monday, it's on. And they were still watching you. And like I always repeat it, the finger in the air thing when you go to the bathroom or when you leave out to go out of the church now, that's because the slave master had one of his boys, one of his white boys in there watching you, making sure you ain't preaching no revolutionary stuff. And so you had to put your finger up out of respect. Not to know God, not to know Jesus, but to the white man who is the God over the whole church. Ain't that something? And we still do it today. You see somebody in the church, grab them if they're doing that, smack their hand down and tell them where that came from. Unbelievable. And the feds got them. And when they got them, I saw in one of the other articles after repeat, It wasn't in this article, but he said he had one cell phone, but they found multiple cell phones. Pimp preacher, what you doing with multiple cell phones? Huh? Or I got 2 cell phones and they're cheapies, right? And the reason why I have 2 is because I use my WhatsApp on one, and I have another one that you can't even text on. It's just a flat regular phone, and it answers local calls, or it makes and receives local calls. Now, the other one that I have with the WhatsApp also receives local calls, but I don't really make too many local calls out here in Accra, Ghana. Who do I know? Be talking there 3-4 hours. No. Plus, you got to top your service off. It's not pay one price for the month and talk forever. It's like gasoline. It's like heat. It's like anything else. It's like when you get a cup of a lemonade or whatever in IHOP, and you got to pay for the next one. It's not no bottomless lemonade cup. So you better talk lean on that. Now, when I have my WhatsApp on, we can roll with the American number. But this dude had several. For what? What kind of businesses are you running? I mean, he got the money for it because people make sure of it. But again, why do we don't feel no kind of way seeing a person sitting up there? It's not about envy. It's about excess. What about the hungry Black children in the community in Brooklyn? Let's just go local in Brooklyn. Let's not put it on him to save the world, but save some of the people. Set something up. I don't understand it. And it goes back to the athletes and the entertainers. Why can't they set something up in their own community? Now, I'm out here in Africa right now. But when Oprah made the school in Africa, I'm like, wait a second, she's in Chicago with so much downtrodden people. Why don't she start from where she's at? She can't do it because she signed the contract. And you can't do anything for your people if you're part of this thing. And you can't tell me that there's nothing else, that he did this on his own. He's allowed to do this, Bishop Lamor Whitehead. He's allowed to do this. Maybe he got a little crazy and stepped over the bounds. He's not operating alone. He can't walk around like this and not pay off somebody else with the secret handshake or the hierarchy that they're in. These pastors don't operate alone. And we think they're prosperous because God is blessing them and we have to give more to them and we'll get the blessing back. Oh, we just got that check for $1,600 and we're $3,000 in debt, but we need to give $1,500 of it to the pastor, and that 100 is going to increase overnight and pay that $3,000 off, and I'll be able to get my new car. And you still walking on them same old orthopedic shoes for the last 20 years since your feet been hurting and the pastor don't even help you. You take them stockings off real slow. It don't have no run in them. You can wear them again. As soon as you get a run, oh God, I don't have enough money to get the stockings. Even your walker is run down. 2 rubbers off the walkers, metal hitting the sidewalk, clink, clink. But the pastor's in that Bentley. The pastor's pimping, sucking you dry. And some of you sisters are inviting the pastor to come over to your house so you can suck him dry. And turn around and give him some money after you give him the honey. And you feel you're going to be blessed because of that, because he's a man of God. In your twisted way, you have to take care of his sexual whims. So he's sucking your account and you sucking his organ. What a holy 69 this is. And you ain't getting nothing out of it. Because while you on top of him, ain't serving you, he counting your money right on the crack of your backside. He ain't even serving you back, leaving you high and dry. And you go to your ATM and the card pops out, ain't nothing in there. And you can't ask him for none of that money back. Maybe I shouldn't be so lewd. YouTube might do something to me. It's crazy what is going on. And it's like a sickness. We don't understand that God is inside of us. We get the downloads. We don't need a middleman. If we pay attention to how we're created in a special way. I'm not saying we are God, but if we're the child of God, then we have some of his attributes. And I'll say hers, because that pushing of just the male energy in church ain't right when everything about us comes from the woman. The most people will say is Mother Earth, and they'll treat it like a fantasy. But I know I came out of my mother's womb and she had to push me out. I know that's real. And I know that this system here, the natural system of the universe, operates on a male and female principle. Not no male and female and trans and the 72 other categories that Facebook acknowledges that you can call yourself. We'd never procreate if we were all that. Well, I'm binary and you're trans and we don't match up, and we have to find somebody who's a hermaphrodite. What kind of confusion is this? And the pastors can't speak out on it because they what is it? 501 or 510 or 3C or something? I don't know. Put it in the chat room for me because it's crazy. This is not the world that I expected. I knew they had pimp pastors back in the day, but they kind of operated off to the side. We had real people back in the day who sincerely felt what they felt. And even if you didn't believe the way they believed or served the way they served, you had a respect for them because they were sincere about it in their heart. But now it's like a rock star now. You got to worship this pastor. Forget God, you worship the pastor. And that's something, 501, C3, thank you. Thank you so much. Or 3C, thank you so much. I get caught up, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and I did 10 days research to get everything right. But I got to talk about it off of feeling and what I see and the angle that I see. You know what? This is 2022. We're going into 2023. And we're caught up in this never-ending Cyber Monday, Black Friday business. And it's not even just a weekend or a day anymore. It's a whole stretch. And that is for the bottom line of these Jewish-owned stores and shops so they can make up for what they didn't get. And we're buying all the trinkets and baubles and rubies, right? And we're not even concerned about our own welfare. And when we do spend all this money to wear our wealth on our sleeves and act as though we are wealthy with material goods, we're spiritually deficient, financially ignorant. And with all the trinkets that we have and accrued in our lifetime that sit around us to make us seem successful, we got to pass around that cup to gather up the money when one of us dies. Either you save your money because you know you're going to need it, or you get some kind of insurance policy and cover yourself. And you talk about, I'm going to wait on the Lord. He's going to take care of me. You better plan your stuff. You were given a brain. You were given a mighty brain, and we can come with all kinds of schemes and get over with the schemes. And we can't even plan the basic things that we need in our life. I'm so happy to say I'm a very frugal individual. And in my frugality, there are people who think I'm wealthy. Because, look, I'm not trying to spend money that I may have and some that I don't have to prove what. I love going to bed with peace of mind. And if you gave me 5 million or 10 million, you think I'm gonna all of a sudden bling, bling all over the place? I'm going to set up some rock solid things to help my people, the real people. Now, if you fronting on somebody or you bad mouthing somebody, you ain't getting in on it. I'm not just going to open up the floodgates and let everybody on in. That's why those who know me, who are affluent, would never work with the ideas that I have because they know I'm on the up and up. And I've been offered many things to compromise who I am. And I ain't no holy man. I'm not a holy man. I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, I'm so perfectly, I was going to say homely. I might be getting homely in my old age, but no, I try to be honorable in most things on a realistic level. But this is outright. This one woman who has to sue him back, Bishop Lamor Whitehead, for her money that she worked for. And you talking about a devil in a red suit? And those of us Hotep Negroes who think anything black is exempt from any kind of decadence or doing us wrong. Yes, most of the fools that come to us that rip us off look like us. We know what the other man gonna do because he set the system up to pull for us every week. We get a raise on our check and the insurance rates raise up too. Ain't that something? So you're happy to get a little bit more on your check, but now you got to pay out more for insurance. So you just the middleman. They getting you that way. But something like this, straight up, outright ripping you off, and you can't tell me there's not a trail of people he hasn't done that to be that bold and to sit up on an interview and say she wasn't even a, but you know what? So what if she wasn't a member? You're a pastor and you are supposed to have a certain standing. You are supposed to have a certain standing. So you're just supposed to have integrity just for your members and your congregation and to heck with everybody else? Man of God? If you a man of God, let's just say this whole thing that's constructed by man in this hierarchy. Let's just say this is proper and exact and real. Wherever you walk, whatever path you go down, whatever journey you take, without even saying who you are, people are supposed to see that in your walk, how you carry yourself, the way you treat people, the way you speak to people. They might not have ever had a conversation with you, but when they get together, them two old ladies sitting in the front of their house, or there's a little fence they're sitting on it. You see that young man over there? Yeah, baby. He's so. I saw a girl walking down the street. You should have seen her shape. He didn't even turn around and look. He greeted her and kept his eyes where they were supposed to be. He got to be a man of God. Ain't that something? But you see, we know what we do when we do this. Our problem is how we get hypnotized by men like this. I go deeper. I say, what is it deficient in us that we have a need to not have the confidence to know that we are divine beings? And what makes this person a divine being over us, that we got to give it all up? My life was given to me for a purpose, and his life was given to him for a purpose. And the purpose that he's executing, I don't think that's what the Most High had for him. He is charismatic. He does have the gift of gab, but he made a decision. Like I say, you got two entities on who have the same talents. You have the pastor, preacher, bishop, whatever you want to call him, the one in the church, and you have the pimp. And the pimp is looked on sad, but the pastor is looked at so good. But they both have the same gifts. Which one are you going to choose? You have this gift. Can you use it for one thing, to get women to sell themselves, bring the money back to you? I was almost going to stutter. I didn't know how to even say it. Or are you going to use that to motivate people, to inspire them, not just to come back to your church for the business of church, but to clean their lives up? You don't even have to be a pastor for that. Damn it. When I worked in a prison, not the jail, because I've worked in both, there was an older man who did all kind of dirt. I mean, he was a pimp one time. He stuck up banks. He shot and killed somebody. This guy wasn't getting out. And it wasn't a case of him all of a sudden trying to turn and be holy, because he was a roughneck in the prison for about 20 years. Until he came to his senses. And yes, he read the Bible, he read the Quran, he read the Torah, but he put those books down. Not putting them down like they're nothing, but he internalized something that was special. And in his area of the prison, just from him being there, because he was in his late 70s and he had been in the prison from when he was in his early 20s. When that man spoke, everybody Everybody gathered around when it was day room time. And he spoke with the wisdom of coming up from the bottom to finally realizing certain things in his life. And he had no regrets. He said he did what he did. He's sorry for what he did. He repented for what he did. But right now, he wants to share the wisdom that he has gained through living life. He went through the whole religious thing, but he's floating on a spiritual level. And you felt it. He wasn't trying to make up for what he did before. He said he knows he's okay. He's not afraid of death or transition, rather. He's not afraid of that. And so many people came to a point within themselves where they began to respect themselves and respect what was inside of them and respect the way they were created and respect the fact that we all, if we want to use the word God, creator, most high, I'm not going to argue about that, but to respect the God in each other, even when we didn't even know it. But so many pastors are faced with that decision. Do I go the pimp route? Or do I stay as a facade as a pastor and have the pimp amenities from all them sexy big leg girls sitting in the front row with their dresses for some reason going against gravity and rising up, looking like pieces of chicken at the all-you-can-eat buffet? And you say, I want that one, and I want this one. I want that one too. And let me just get all of them. And these egotistical male preachers do not want strong men around them. They want imps and effeminate men around them to do their bidding. You see that new member over there? This is the second time she's been here. I didn't see no man. I don't see no wedding ring. You go on and you find out about her. And they'll sick some of the women on her. Sister, it's so nice. Would you like for this to be your church home? Can we visit you? Oh, sure. I noticed the accent. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from New York. And this is Georgia now, right? It could be anywhere. Wow. So how long have you been here? Oh, I've been here 3 months. Ooh, fresh meat for the pastor. So we'd like to bring you a gift and come on over and visit you where you are. Can I have your address? Sure. When can we come over? You can come over next Monday. I'm home all day. And here they come. They driving through your neighborhood. Wait a second. She ain't got no man. She ain't got no wedding ring. She came there the second week in a row, and we watched the car she drove. Car's 1 year, a luxury vehicle? Yeah, we got to find out about that. And they come over there, eyes are wide open. This is more tithing opportunities because we can get 10% of her money. Oh, man. The pastor can hold one more of us down and take us out and pay for our apartment. And here they come looking around inside your place. And it's only a matter of time before they have to go to the bathroom. Oh, sister, we've been having such a delightful conversation. Can I use your restroom? Oh, sure, honey. Go on back there. There's 4 doors back there. And one of them on the right is the restroom. And that sister goes back there and opens up all the other doors, playing like she don't know what's going on. She ain't see no kids in the bed. She don't see nothing. And when she gets in that bathroom, she all up in your medicine cabinet. Oh, we gonna get the real deal. We gonna see if she's on some kind of medication or psych meds or something or birth control. Because if she's on birth control, we know she's having sex and sinning, and a man can't be too far away. And they take a little longer in that bathroom. They look to see, oh, just one toothbrush? They looking for the signs of a man or children or some friend with benefits. They can't find it. But then after your visit, you never see her again because she picked up on what you're all about. And this is why so many people have left the church from the crap that we bring as niggers, the nigger business in the church. But you dress it up. Dysfunctional families. But you dress it up with a title, I am this and I am that, and you just as toxic as anybody else. People are fed up with this thing. That's why more and more you hear people say, well, I'm not religious, I'm more spiritual. Well, they say the animals in the wild, which the wild ain't the wild because the wild is more in order than the so-called civilized world. They kill when they want to eat. And so they looking for something up under them in the food chain to eat. And when they sitting there full, they ain't trying to eat up all. You don't see no lion trying to go after rabbits. You done ate enough rabbits. I don't think rabbits live where lions live, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's full. Rabbits are running around. He ain't trying to get no rabbit, but if he's hungry, he gonna get it. We killed just from somebody looking at us funny. Ain't that something? Huh? We kill for foolish reasons. We hate for foolish reasons. It's been ingrained in us, but we'll never want to acknowledge it. Church coons, opening up your arms to any old thing that comes on in. You're supposed to do that, right? But you love upon somebody else and you hate yourself. God ain't got nothing to do with that. And you try to dress it over. You say you want to look good going in the house of God, but you're putting bad food down in your body, and that's the real house of God. Jacking up your liver, jacking up your kidneys. Well, I'm just going to treat myself to this meal right here. You're treating yourself to death. And it amazes me how many times I see people eating the pork, eating the spicy food, lots of sugar, fried up. Don't you know when you fry up food, you can't digest it properly? You might as well go eat some GMO food because you're GMOing your food that's already there. And after you take years and years and years and pump this crap inside your body, you go to the church and want the pastor to lay hands on you because the devil is a liar. No, you the liar to yourself. There's enough information out here to know how to keep clean what you call the house of God. But you want to do your sins at the dinner table and blame the devil to he a liar. No, you in denial. Dysfunctional black folks in denial in the church helps a man like Bishop Lamor Whitehead thrive from what's out your pockets. So really and truly, I'm not mad at him. Heck, you might have, if I wasn't a man of a little bit of integrity, you might be calling me Bishop Pastor SCURV. And I had rings on my finger. I can't do that though. I was raised a certain way. I was raised in the church. I'm not ashamed to say that. I wasn't raised up under something like this, so I got to call it out. So for the people who are in churches where they know or feel that this is the right way to go, why are you silent when you see something like that? What is keeping this man in position? I'm really interested to see what the feds are going to do with this man. I really am. I really, really am. This is going to tell me a whole lot. And they should go through half of these people because it's just a business for most. I'm not putting myself on no kind of pedestal. I don't call myself no title. But I love my people so much, I will talk and I'll put the time in. I ain't got a title at all. And I'll tell it like it is. And if you got a problem with it, we can sit down and break bread over it. I'm not here to argue with anybody. I might have fun with a troll or two before I block them. But I'm not against you having your experience, and let's compare experiences and let's sit down and reason. Let's grow from our dialogue. At this time of day, at this time in history, making sure the pastor has designer glasses, rings, and watches and jewelry, preaching to you with $1 million worth of jewelry on? When our children are not taught finances in school to know how to budget their money? But you go into the Jewish community, they're taught that, how to rule over us. And even though us Christians in the church, we honor the Jews, and they don't even believe in Jesus. That's mentally sick for those who claim Christianity. Our children are raised up to be subservient. You talk about you blessed and highly favored, and you don't know how to budget 2 nickels, and you broke before your next check. But you're blessed and highly. No. You're raped and robbed. Extortion. Because of your ignorance. I'm talking about with money now. Why isn't this man, if he is such a financial whiz, not helping his congregation to get on a certain level? And I'm not talking about making money your God. Obviously, he has. But as long as you're in this system, you're going to have to know how to navigate money and deal with money wisely. The more wealthy you are is the more you are in that mode, because you're at a certain level and you can help other people, but in ignorant people who want to stay in ignorance. Because if you give them money, they're going to go off and spend it and be broke again. But a man like this will capitalize on people who are ignorant to the power of money when you're collective with it and you're unified with it. And just like the video that I made a little while ago up on the rooftop before it got dark, we have no excuse anymore. This Lord that you're waiting for is in you. Listen to the voice, the consciousness that we know what's right from wrong. We know the 10 Commandments and the laws of Ma'at and all of this stuff like that, but we know this stuff, but it's even more than that. That's the starter kit. The 10 Commandments is the starter kit. They ain't gonna say in there to the men, thou shalt not look at the juicy ass at the mall. You should know better, because you looking at the thoughts in your head, you're gonna want some more. They don't talk about gluttony all the way, but gluttony in so many ways. At the dinner table, we're sinning also. But we shouldn't be thinking about, oh, this is and that. If we are seeking being a pure heart in the joys. See, you can't tempt me with cocaine. You can't tempt me with liquor. You can't tempt me to hand me a gun and say, let's rob a bank. Because I enjoy my freedom and I know the beauty of freedom. I know the beauty of the sun tickling across my face, gently waking me up. And you inhale this fresh African air that I'm enjoying right down at the base of the mountains, soon to go up to my property when it's done. And just be up in there. There'll be times I ain't gonna come off the property for three months. I'm telling you. Walk in the backyard, grab a mango, come chill, do my little shows and stuff, meditate, get closer to nature. Nature, I always say it, is the closest manifestation to your God. It teaches you everything. I lay down on the lawn chair and look down at the ground sometime, and I see ants that I wouldn't usually see if I wasn't looking down. And I see how they work together. And one ant is, all the ants are carrying something, and here comes another one, grab what the other one have and continue on the other path. In other words, here, let me help you. How many black people treat each other like that? Stop crying about what the white man is doing when you have the venom in your heart just as bad for each other, hating each other just as much as the white man. We know it's in their heart. Their history tells us that, and they watered down the history. They ain't gonna really say what if we had smartphones coming up through slavery, boy. And they make it all like seem like all the early presidents was is a just man, and throw Benjamin Franklin in there, and George Washington and Andrew Jackson. They were tipping in them slave shacks and raping the women too. But that's no different. Bishop Lamor, Whitehead. Am I saying he raped somebody? Maybe he did. I don't know. Most rapists get away. But guess what? He raped that lady of her pension money. She worked hard all her life. Hell, maybe if he would have asked her for a little action, she might have gave it to him. But you took the woman's money and then denied it. And the feds must be coming at you for other reasons too, because they've been watching you. All over the media, $1 million worth of jewelry around your neck. $1 million. What's the point of that? Them people in your congregation, most definitely, they all weren't making six figures, and you got $1 million worth of jewelry. What's the point? Were you showing off in front of them? What's the point? That's like a woman working in the man's jail and walk up in there with a bikini, and these men ain't been with a woman for a long time. What's the point? Well, you're around a bunch of hungry people eating a big beef burger, mayonnaise and cheese dropping all off the side. You licking your lips, and they hungry looking at you. They about ready to knock you over the head to take that burger. Why do you get around people that you know are deficient in certain areas of their life and you want to appear large in life? What's wrong with you? Do you have really some kind of deficiency inside of you that you need to show off this way? Are you hollow on the inside? Obviously you are. If anybody enjoys what beauty I have on the inside, it ain't because I'm wearing something. It's because if I open up my mouth and speak with you, and I'm nobody's pastor, but I have a heart. I've spoken with many people. If they feel down and I could sense it, I want to give them a good word to lift them up. If I see somebody a little short in Walmart or Target, there ain't no Walmarts and Target in Ghana, Africa, but I'm just saying, I spot you. I got you. Have a heart. We have to be each other's keepers. Now, we know we got shysters out here, and I'm not going to hook up no shyster with nothing. Don't come at me with game. I got game on reserve. I don't use game on people, but I got the game chip inside of me to know. And this world better be glad I'm not with that okie doke game stuff, ripping people off, talking women out their panties, all this stuff. And I can't say I didn't do that years ago. But it was with full knowledge. I'm not shystering you. If you want to do this, we can do this. I'm not telling you it's love. I'm not telling you nobody's around. We can do this and be cool. Now, don't be crying and saying I talked you out of it. All I'm saying is be straight up. If this man is that much of a shyster, think of the greatness that's in him that he used the wrong way, like the pastor who had the decision to be a pastor or a pimp, the crossroads. We're all faced with crossroads and we're all given gifts. We all have a choice, and he made his choice. And when you make bad choices, you have to face the consequences, hands down. So if he is guilty of doing this to this woman, and if they have other things on him, face the music, face the consequences. I know a lot of guys that were in the jails and prisons that I've worked in. They say, you know what? One guy in particular said this. He said, Officer SCURV, I'm not just here for what they say I'm here for. I'm here for all the things that I did and I never got caught. And he understood, and he had no problem being in there. And he did his time and he got out and never came back again, because I stay in communication with a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys get on the internet and see me there. Man, I remember you from 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. Man, you were talking the same stuff. Look at you now. I'm the same person. I don't want to carry around the baggage of a mask or 3 masks or 4 masks, 5 masks. Got 5 different crews I hang around. One I go and sniff cocaine with. One I go around and I'm a whoremonger with. One I go and smoke the weed and drink with. And one I act holy with. And when some of these people come around mixed up together, I don't know how to act. No, I am the way that I am. You know, I talk crazy sometime. You know, I tell jokes sometime. You know, I talk sexual sometime. You know, I'm very serious and sometimes I'm angry sometime, and nostalgic and laid back. We all have different gears on our emotional and spiritual vehicles. I don't come here just to be some one-way Charlie, anal retentive to prove to you I am this holy man of God and so and so and so. I tell like it is. Let me tell you something. Since coming out here to Africa, shoot, I'm almost 60 years old. I'm a married man. But some of these asses that these girls got, I'm like, I got to keep my head straight. I'm not trying to. How is she built that way? Oh, my God. But I'm going to tell you all, I'm not trying to be holier than now. I don't do that ever since 30 years ago. Get the hell out of here. We all are struggling with something, even if it's for that extra cookie calling you in the refrigerator and you know you shouldn't even have bought those cookies and put them in the house. How are you going to deal with an issue or a challenge unless you acknowledge it? Not just tell mine. I ain't going to die from emotional constipation. A lot of the people out here in the world will, because they're more concerned about putting up a facade a facade of holiness. And all you're doing is the same binge purge when a person eats something bad and sticks the finger down the throat and throws it up. Some of y'all on a Sunday morning dancing hard, jumping in the spirit, guilty from what you did, jumping in the spirit, bent over on your knees, arch back, face down, ass up. Now you got to purge yourself. Isn't it sick? This brief time that we have on this earth, this brief time, don't you have moments of realizing it's brief? You in traffic and you look in front of you, rest in peace, and you see a name and you see a date, and they were born in 2001 and they died in 2022. You're like, oh my God, they were born and I was grown and they died at 21 years old, and here I am, 56 or 42, 74. And it scares you for a second because you see your own mortality. But then after a while, it wears off when we get into our little indulgences. I'm going to do this one more time. I'm enjoy this one more time. I got time. How do you know? How does this so-called Bishop Lamor Whitehead know how much time he has when he's putting himself up as a man of God? Ain't nothing but a shyster. My spidey senses tell me that. Come on, man. And we got some good ones out here. But as these days come to pass, we have to understand that all kind of things have been released on the face of the earth. And because we have this thing called social media, it's teaching us things. It's teaching us to be bold. It's teaching us to be even more worldly. There are great things on social media, but we have to filter out the bad. It's zombifying us now. It's making us lose our perception of time. Because when we get into this thing, it suspends us. Days go by. We become unhinged and things don't get done. I do what I do and I get out. I jump in and I jump out. There's all kind of things I'm doing other than social media. I jump in, I jump out. I don't want to get the cooties. I don't want the spores to hit me. Like on Star Trek, when they all beaming down and the spores hit them and they didn't want to go back on the ship. This thing affects us. It disconnects us from reality. It disconnects us from each other. So it makes it easy for these shysters to come in the name of the Lord and say something impressive. And when they have the riches that they stole from other people, you think they're prosperous. Because so many of us so-called Christians want to be prosperous. See, there's two things going on. And a lot of us are shysters and don't even know it. We so scared of hell that we do the right thing. But if it wasn't for the fear of hell, we'd be on fire doing all kind of stuff. And the fear of hell don't even scare some people. And it's also the desire to be prosperous. Hence the prosperity preachers. That's all they talk about. While you pass people in the street, driving up to church, feeling all holy with your church hat on, your church outfit on. Everybody know who you are. Praise the Lord and all this. And you got venom in your heart. Take all that crap off. Put your sneakers on, put your sweats on and walk amongst the people. Talk to the people who need it. Showing off for these people and all you can think about, I just want to be prosperous. And God made us to be prosperous. Not in the man-made engineered world. I'm going to say it again until the cows come home. We got two worlds. The man-made engineered world, which is fake, and it's against everything righteous. Against everything from the Creator, from the Most High, from God, from this, from that, whatever your name you want to call it. And you have the other world of nature where everything is given to you free. We just have to have a little unity to help each other to build the structures from the wood and the concrete and the elements for each other freely. We're not tallying up. I did more for you than you did for me. We're supposed to do for each other and care for each other out in nature without the exchange of money. God supplies the food. God supplies the land. He supplies all the minerals and elements and everything you need under the sun that's life-giving. Ain't that something? You're sitting up in a church with a picture of Jesus, usually some white man, in a stained glass, and he's got a halo or a sun or a light behind him, and here you are getting your vitamin C or vitamin D3 deficiencies, getting no sun. Get out in the sun. Have a relationship with the sun sometime. It's life-giving. But it seems like the man-made manufactured churches, those places are not life-giving. It brings you down to a certain level of decadence, but you know how to pretend. See, get out in nature and work alongside, getting that dinner together with your other sisters and brothers. Some people dig up the potatoes, some cut the greens, some get the fruit, some are cooking this, whatever, and make it together. That's the way it's supposed to be. But we're not around each other no more. We run in to do overtime on the job. We come home to visit our families, and they usually sleep. And when you see your kids after doing a second shift, all you can do is kiss them on the forehead. Baby, I love you. And they just look at, I love you too, mommy. And they go back to sleep. And there's no connection in the Black community anymore. And they prop these churches up with the church family that they love bomb you. You come in there new, everybody's smiling with you. Everybody, praise the Lord. Oh, your hair is so nice, sister. Oh, this, oh, that. They'll even give you things, and you think you hit utopia, heaven on earth. And once they know your business, and once they drain your bank accounts, you just another person there playing pretend. You thought you can find a place to fill your voids. And there are men like this who will prop themselves up as being the way. And you see a lot of women, I'm not just throwing it off on the women now, a lot of men didn't have fathers who were real fathers. I'm not saying you have to be dressed up in a suit and whatever, but this is some hyped up imagery which you say, man, this brother got something going on. I want to be like him. He drives a nice car. And you're not supposed to be there for that, but you got voids inside of you. And some of the women, brother got cologne on, teeth nice, hair cut right, designer this and designer that. And you're not really consciously thinking this, but there's some who get moist in his presence. It happens. Like I told you, the sad story when I used to drive the bus for many years in Orlando, Florida. And you'd have single mothers come on and they'd have their daughters, more so the daughters for some reason. And they saw me clean cut. They saw me with the clear eyes. They saw me physically strong and alert. You know, you driving the bus, man. You got a mother standing up in the back with a newborn, and you can't hit them brakes. That kid's gonna go flying. Kids jumping in front of you, dogs jumping in front of you, cars cutting in front of you. You better be alert. And I'm proud to say that I've never been in an accident that I caused. People were always hitting me though. They were always hitting me. But those little children, those little girls would sit at the front and they would stare at me. And I would see it through the peripheral, you know, or through the windshield when I put the light on at night. You know, that windshield becomes a mirror. Defensive tactics. You got to see what's coming at you from the inside of the bus. And I'd see them. And at first it was strange. But after a while, different little girls with their mothers, one little girl said to the mother, not loud, but I heard it because I got some daggone good hearing. I can hear a mosquito fart 1,000 miles away in a hurricane. Trust and believe that. And she said to her mother, oh, mommy, is that daddy? She might have been 5 years old, 4 years old, 6 years old. That broke my heart. So we're walking around with voids, and it's easy for these shysters to put themselves up as being that one. And on another note, and I'm not accusing him of this, but on another note, ladies, be careful who you bring around your children, because they have voids too when they didn't have what they were supposed to have. And that man can come in and pretend to be something that he's not, coming in your household for your little children. And you think it's for you? Oh, he tearing it up now. He giving it to you good at night, but he got his eyes on your children. I know personally several so-called reputable men who on the outside had this reputation. Oh no, he's a good man. Oh, really? Then how come his stepdaughter is pregnant with his child? How come certain things are not supposed to be? Ain't no trust nothing these days. If I'm left with somebody's children, we on the front porch with all the neighbors, they can see us. Ain't no staying inside. And it ain't for long either, staying outside. You run to the store and you hurry back and come back real quick. And I started a conversation with the little old grandma across the street that nosy when they were the broken up Venetian blinds, because she knows everything. She'll tell you, he went inside the house for 7 minutes. I timed it. So anything could have happened for 7 minutes. No, you won't get me that way. And when I worked in the jail, I did not want to work with the women because they were there to set you up. Now, I'm not saying little children looking to set you up now, but don't they say within the Christian situation circles that as a man, you're not supposed to even look or give the appearance of any wrongdoing? I'm not going to let you have any doubt as to what I've done or what I'm doing. That's where we draw the line. I'm not going to give you a reason. But yet and still we have some of these pimp preachers out here who do not give a damn. He ain't scared of this woman that he took the $90,000 from, allegedly. Don't have somebody who just got out doing time who loves that woman. Yo, show me where he at. He did what? Oh, we gonna pay him a visit. Don't go, baby. Don't do that to him. No. Hell no. No. He took 90,000. He gonna give up 180,000, or he gonna meet his maker. See, this is what I don't understand. See, guys like this, they run in the underworld because from what I understood, he ran in the streets. And I don't know how deep in the underworld, because see, some people, they carry a little gun. They might have shot somebody in the foot. Now all of a sudden they some top mafia capo or some super gangster. Well, I don't know. Everybody's talking some smack. I was never that. In New York City, when I grew up, I lived there for 38 years out of my almost 60 years. And I was not no gangster. But you know what? I knew a lot of them. I grew up a lot with guys who crossed to the other side. And they still love me and my parents and my family. But they will tell you Lance was no gangster, but he will knock your head off if you cross him or somebody around him that he loves righteously. But these days, there's no law. There's no code. This would not be allowed. This man here better be glad the feds got him and better keep him away because maybe something might be coming for him. You don't rip off no lady like that of $90,000 and call yourself some pastor, brazen like that. You wouldn't be around too long back in the day that I know. I was born in 63. I remember a couple years of the latter part of 63 as a child. My father taught me a lot. My mother taught me a lot. I remember the 70s. I remember how the worlds coexisted. The worlds coexisted. Nicky Barnes and selling heroin. I was a little kid. Lots of times I saw that man. Oh, that's Nicky Barnes. I didn't know what it was all about. I'm like, is that man all dressed up with that? Who is that? Well, you'll understand when you get older. And you had the pimp pastors from back in that day, but there's certain things they did not do. There's certain things they didn't do. They didn't go in on one person or somebody who was vulnerable like that. They collected their funds from the masses. And they did what they did, and they didn't make you or do any shyster stuff. You gave it up. They did the Jedi mind trick on you, and you gave it up. And you felt you were doing the right thing because that man was the closest manifestation to God. They tricked you. Hey, you play a game of 3-card Monte, they trick you, You went in for the game, and they got you. It's what it is. Sometimes that's the only entertainment and social contact that many people in the Black community have. It's the church. It's a place you can go there and hang out in the parking lot and all day. Let's go get something to eat, Mabel. We're going to come back for the night service. Because when you get older and you get old, them weeks fly by quick. Like for the younger folks, the days go by slow. But for the older folks, each week goes by like a day because your perception of time is a lot different than when you're a newborn and a toddler and a young preteen. And your social circle is getting leaner and leaner and leaner from the people that you grew up with. So you cling to them and you see other people in that certain age group and you make friends with them and you can talk about the old songs and when you used to do the Lindy Hop and all of this stuff back in the day. It's precious because we're social beings. And so a lot of us are lonely and we'll do whatever we can to give to the pastor because we think if we give to the pastor, God will see how good we are and keep us on this earth for so many more years. They play on us. Whatever void we have, they become that to fill in, like that locksmith that has that gadget that they can stick in any lock And it becomes from the tumblers, it could feel it, and it could become that key for that one lock. And ching, ching, the lock is open. That's a gift. That's a gift of discernment also. But do not for once think that devils don't have the gift of discernment. Their gift of discernment sometimes is even stronger because their very hustle and life depends on it. I have a little bit of that. I can feel it. The more I'm disconnected from the earthly realm when I'm in my zone, I can damn near read your mind. I can feel people. I can know when they're about ready to stab me in the back. I turn around and slit their throat when their hand is up, ready to come down with the knife. How did he know? I might have known that you've been ready to kill me for 2 years. I'm sitting here chilling out with you. I can be vicious if I want to, but I don't play that game. Because the karma and the balance, if you understand nature, nature is balance. And man is making this world so imbalanced on the engineered level that nature is trying to make sense about this extra stuff that's going on that it had nothing to do with. How do I make balance out of this? It's like a young man who feels that after 1 month of training in the gym that he needs to take steroids. And this is what y'all need to be watching out for. Those of you who have young teenagers, especially the young boys and some of the young girls, these drugs and these steroids and these hormones are out here and it's going to mess them up. I never took them, but I was heavily into bodybuilding and I competed in almost over 90 shows when I was a teenager into my early 20s. And a lot of these guys are not around no more or messed up. The insecurity. I want to get there fast. And we see them develop so fast and we're like wondering, I know a drug body when I see one enhanced. And that's the society because we got Instagram. So if we can't bling bling like the pastor, we can bling bling with the bodies. And our young daughters are using their bodies. We say they're not on the corner selling themselves. They could be in their bedroom locked away, selling themselves on Instagram under an account that you don't even know. They always make that account where the parents can see. Oh, mommy, look, when I went to the wedding last week with Barbara, here's the, and you say, oh, they have a good Instagram. But on the other one, the crack of their behind is wide open for the whole boulevard to see. Cash app. Cash at me. Cash at me enough and you'll be able to put your hands on what you see. I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but that's the way it is. The world is messed up. It's seeking balance. That's why the weather is messed up lots of times. We know they're messing with the weather. That's why on a spiritual level, we're all messed up. People killing themselves, taking lives and the sacrifices. That man Twitch didn't kill himself. We're under some satanic rule, but we're pretending to play church and don't know that the other side is very serious about wiping us out. Those of us who are melanated even more. Don't think that the melanin that you have is just a skin thing. That's a soul thing. And we're using it wrong lots of times. And they hate us for it. Talk about, it doesn't matter. The devil can, yes, the devil can be in anybody. But they really want us. They're coming for us. But this is not acknowledged in the church because you want to let everybody on in. But you are the church. And your body houses God in it. And you go and you be quiet and you meditate and you let the sun hit you and you leave away these demonic foods out your diet and you get these downloads. It will tell you exactly what to do and how to navigate. I don't get up out of my bed. First of all, I'll lay an extra 15, 20 minutes or sometimes an hour until I get my instructions. And it will tell me what to do as opposed to what I wanted to do. I may try to figure, well, I'm going to go to the supermarket first, and I'm going to go across town over here, and something says, shh, this is what you're going to do. You only got 3.5 hours to do this and this and that. Save this for tomorrow. Do this right now and get done early and come home. I got something later for you. I'm like, okay. Today's day did not go the way I planned it, but it ended up working out perfectly because I listened to what was inside of me. These are the kind of things our pastors and bishops should be teaching us as an example. All this stuff you buying and all, get that. Look, first of all, number one, let's cut to the cheese. Let's cut all this stuff out. Remember Rocky Balboa back in the original Rocky, the first Rocky, where he was looking even a little chubby? And he had those, what was it, Converses, the black high top Converses? And he had the gray sweatsuit and a cap on. Let everybody come to church like that. That way there's no pressure to do your hair. There's no pressure to wear a different outfit that they haven't seen in 3 years. There's no pressure. You park your car somewhere and let a church bus pick you up a mile away and bring you into the church, so you ain't parking no luxury car in the park. We're going to take all the ego out of it. We're all on the same level on a spiritual level. Some may be more advanced, but if they are truly advanced on a spiritual level, they don't need all that foolishness. I'm not mad at anybody who has worked hard and enjoys the fruits of their labor. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is when people try to pimp off and show off and have this hierarchy in the name of the Lord. All of this stuff is a facade. And you're wasting your time if you ain't about it in your heart. And people can feel it when you are about it from the inside. I've gone through so much in my life, and I want to share my experiences. It ain't about nothing else but that. I want to leave behind something that can say, hey, he left behind this thing and it helped me out, and he's gone now, but I'm going to share it so everybody can get better. And if we think above ourselves and outside of ourselves and in a selfless manner, more so than the selfish manner that this world teaches us, we as a people would be better off. All the money we spend out of our community to get the trinkets and baubles and rubies to flash off on somebody. There are things I can stretch and buy, and then what? It's more stuff for people to fight over when you die. Have you all heard that, I don't know, it's Instagram or Facebook, it's circulating around what happens after you die? I said, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to tell me, or they're going to give me an opinion of what happens. And it was so true. They gave a timeline. I'm going to jack up the timeline right now, right? But to the effect of the day after you die, your children will soon go back to work because they would have used up all of their sick time. A month after you die, your spouse will be watching a movie in your bedroom, laughing at something that happened in the movie. Ain't that something? How we have forgotten? It happens because we're around a lot of people who are not in tune spiritually. So what is all this spending of money and bling and what? They're going to fight over it anyway. I remember growing up, when we moved into the house in September of 1968, left Manhattan and into Queens, Richmond Hill, Queens, New York on 134th Street. I like the name drop because I get emails. Well, where on 134th Street you live on? We had some tenants, and those were the last tenants that we had. And it was an older couple, and they had lots of nice things there. But even them, they were shysters. They had a low rent. They both were retired. We both got along real cool over the years. But they showed their ass right before they left. They skipped out on paying that month's rent. They said they need a little more time. Okay, no problem. We like family. And the whole neighborhood knew, but we didn't know. How do I know the whole neighborhood knew? Everybody, not everybody in the neighborhood now, but just not just the block, but like far away, like 3-4 blocks away, or whatever. Just people that knew us, but evidently they were taught or told to be quiet. So, okay, I'm going to give you that lamp over there, and you can take the couch over here. And when they walked out, there was nothing. And he did it slick. My parents were at work, and I was at school. Couches were coming out, beds were coming out, all kinds of things were coming out. And so the last day they were there, all their clothes were going on to the next place where they were. They just merely walked out and said, oh, how are you? To my father, mother, and me. We happened to be outside coming in. How y'all, where y'all heading to? Oh, we just heading to the store. We'll see you later. The apartment was empty. Oh, man. You don't think that taught me a lesson? They planned that. So you got some people looking in your eye, allegedly like this Bishop Lamor Whitehead. Yeah, I'll help you get a house. Just give me that $90,000. I'll help you put a down payment and get you a nice house. I got connections like that. Knowing good and darn well what he plans on doing to you. So be careful out here. And I'm not just saying to be paranoid now. I'm just saying be very careful. Be very, very careful. Because everything that appears to be a certain way may not be that way. Sad but true. That's just the way it is. And I'm going to wrap it down now because soon we have Positively Angela. She's going to be on in 25 minutes. I was just going to come on for 30 minutes, but you know how I do. I get on, I start running my mouth, and that's it. But I really highly recommend that you come back and listen to her. Let me see if I can get the link. I'll drop it in here. Yes, I'm going to get the link right here. Drop it right in here for you. Make it easy for you. Now, it's not yet, but it's going to be in, what did I say? 25 minutes, maybe 24 minutes. Let me get to the comments section here, which I didn't have the comment section open while I was talking. So if anybody greeted me, don't think I gave you the cold shoulder. Sometimes I just want to flow like this without the distraction. And all the 131 people who are here, hit that like button, subscribe, and come on back. We're going to be putting up a lot of content unexpectedly and just smash it with it. You know what I mean? Wow. What can I say? Bishop Lamor Whitehead, there are many of them out here, more or less. Some are young, some are coming up, some are going to be that way, some are not. We all have decisions, but understand that the house of God is you. And you house a spirit inside of you, whether you want to call it God, Yahweh, Creator, Most High. It's like when you look at sperm before it hits the egg. We're all sperm again, heading toward a righteous goal. But instead of one sperm hitting the egg and winning, becoming you, that one who won that race, we all have a chance to win the race, to ascend and to go higher. This is not even a race with anybody else, because like the sperm, we have a head, we have thoughts, we have directions, we have choices. Some of us take chances. Some of us go through changes. But if you listen to the right downloads and you go by the feel of what's right, there's more to it than that. But this is a pit stop to eternity. So if we can't get it right in 30, 40, 50, 60 years, we're doomed. We've got to ascend. And that's not the churchified stuff. I'm just saying, as a person, as a being, our sight should be much clearer now at the age that we are, whatever the age is, better than we were the year before. Better than we were. Next year, we should be better. Tomorrow, we should be better. We should be constantly seeking out lessons to go higher with the perceptions that we have. But we've got to untangle ourselves from the mess that we've been put in, the confusion of this world that we've been put in. Yes, we've all been dealt a certain deck of cards that we got to figure out. But even the person that was dealt with, they call a bad hand, can win the game with the right decisions. What's the choices you're going to make? To be better or to suck off from someone else? I almost messed up the way I said that. Anyway, y'all, much love to you all. I'm going to put up the other banner here so you can join up or sign up, or the various social media platforms that we're on. It's there. This computer's working so slow. What the heck is, okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. I'm going to leave out, take a little break, and I'll be right back with Positively Angela. And as always, she will bring the house down with her take on the laws, the various laws, and you'll get more out of her than you will any one of these pimp preachers out here who only want the finances out of your pocket and probably a little bit of the crotch sauce that you have too before they run like a thief in the night. Sorry to be so lewd, but I sprinkle my stuff with that sometimes. I'm unpredictable. Even I have to say, oh my God, I said that. Anyway, I'm going to play a song or two, sign off, and let's come on back on. I put that link in the chat room. It's not starting yet until another 21 minutes. That's just enough for time for me to get a little bite and to set things up for Sister Positively Angela. I guarantee you'll be uplifted when you hear her. Much love to you all. Peace.
Stole America, the original owner of this nation, is cooped up on a reservation. So my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven, black man hell. He needed someone to work the land, his back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise, on his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is a black man hell. Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly that before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China, he took silk and gunpowder. From India, he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast, he took barrels of oil untold, raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So, my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and firewater. Tricks and lies, he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise, on his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is a black man hell.